Thank you very much, Wong, for guiding us through the quiz. Now let's have a look at the percentage method, which is the second method. So basically, on this part, I'm going to talk about the percentage method, and then after the credit method. After, we'll have a short quiz and a Q&A session to discuss the chain of custody methods. So what exactly is the percentage method? This is the method used to calculate the certified content of PFC product groups for which PFC certified and PFC controlled sources material are used as input. So how do you calculate the percentage method? The standard has a formula where you have your certified content can be gotten by calculating the volume of the PFC certified material divided by the volume of the PFC certified material plus PFC controlled sources material times 100. In the percentage method, the neutral material is not considered in the calculation of the certified content. Also, you need to note that the certified content is calculated based on a single measurement unit, and the volume of PFC certified material is basically the quantity of certified content of the input material. So the rest of the input material can be considered as PFC control sources. If you remember the material flows graph that I showed you, you already know what kind of claims pass through the different chain of custody method. The certified content, again, is calculated for a PFC product group, shall be used as percentage in the PFC claim X% PFC certified. So what enters the calculation as the volume of certified material? So you can have, again, forest and tree-based material under the PFC claims, can also have an endorsed SFM system claim and recycled material that meets our definition. So this is a short example to demonstrate how to apply the percentage formula that I've shown you before. So let's assume that a furniture manufacturer is producing a PFC certified door. So this door, you define the product group. You start defining the product group by identifying the door. So you have the specific door. The door has a mix of door panels, these are door panels which are non-PFC certified, and 100% PFC certified top and bottom rails. In this case, the percentage method is applied and the input material categories are PFC certified, and the door panels, which are non-PFC certified, went through the due diligence system and they were identified to have negligible risk and now have the claim PFC control sources. So you take the input, you will have the door panels, which are non-PFC certified, cover for 80 kilograms, for example. And then you have the top and bottom rails, which cover 100% PFC certified, which are 400 kilograms, for example. So in the end, if you apply the formula I've shown you in the previous slide, this formula here, you will get 83% PFC certified. And if you want, you can have an on-product label on the door. So also something else to note is that the percentage method can also be applied as rolling percentage. And what does rolling percentage mean? It means that you have to consider the input period and the claim period. So the input period is the time period over which the certified content is calculated. And this can only be done at a maximum of 12 months. Whereas the claim period is the time period for which the certified content of a product group is determined, and the maximum period is 3 months. So here, for example, let's assume you have in January as February and March as input period. So out of 5, let's say logs, out of these 5 in January, you have 2 which have the PFC claim. In February, you have 3 out of 5. And in March, you have 1 out of 5. So in April, if you apply the rolling percentage method, you will have 40% certified in April. So when can you make a good claim period? So if you, for example, take the input period again of February, March, and April, where you have 4 out of 6, then in the end, in May, you can make the claim as 50% certified. So now let's look at the credit method. This is basically a method that is used to transfer credits from the input of PFC certified material to PFC controlled sources material within the same product group. Under the credit method, the credits accumulated cannot exceed the sum of credits entered into the credit account during the last 24 months. This account may be expanded to 36 months, for example, if the average production period is longer. The credit account for each product group, you need to have a credit account for each product group. So if you have multiple product groups in your company or organization, then you'll have multiple credit accounts for the specific product groups. Also, if you have different sites that have the same product group, they can use the same credit account. So there are 2 ways of calculating credits. One, you take the certified content and the volume of output products of the relevant claim period. So here, to get the credits, you'll take the output volume, you multiply it by the certified content. The second is you take the certified input and the input rate or output ratio, which needs to be verifiable. So to get the credits, you will take the certified input, multiply by the input output ratio. And how and when have you calculated the certified content? So the standard specifically does not refer to this, but it needs to be assumed or to be understood as in the percentage method. So you define your input period and claim period using the requirements described on the percentage method. So now you see the link between the percentage method and the credit method. So two ways of calculating credits. I mentioned this before, but now let's look at concrete examples where you have your output product as 8 tons and your certified content, which you've calculated using the percentage method, as 50%. Your credits, which you will put in your credit account, are 4 tons, for example. So here you have your certified content as 50%. You have a specific claim period, for example. And then out, you have 8 tons of output product, and your account will have 4 tons of credit. So now let's look at the second certified input and input or output ratio. An example, let's say you have 6 tons of input of certified material, and you get your input or output ratio, which let's assume is 0.67. So in the end, you get 4 tons of credits. So in the standard 6.4.2, there is a note or a clause that says it may be required to define conversion factors for the conversion of the measurement units of the input components to the output products. So a graphical example of what we've calculated in the previous slide. So you have your 6 tons of certified input, you multiply by the ratio, and in your account, you will get 4 tons of credit. So how do you distribute the credits to the output product? So let's say you want to now use your credits. So the standard specifies that the credits need to be distributed in a way that the certified products are considered to be having 100% certified content. So less than 100% certified content as well, and meeting the organization's own threshold of the claim. So basically it will depend on the demand of your client or your PFC customer. So the result of the volume of output products, which will be multiplied by the certified content of the output products, needs to be equal to the distributed credits withdrawn from the credit account. Here, the key word in this statement is equal. So let's see an example. So let's say you have 8 tons of PFC control sources. So your client demands that they want to have, for example, 100% PFC certified. In your credit account, you have 4 tons credit. So those 4 tons credits can be transferred to the only 4 tons of the 8 100% PFC certified. So you can inform your client that you can only give them 4 tons of 100% PFC certified, plus 4 tons of PFC control sources. Or on the other hand, you can also say you can have 50% of PFC certified out of the 8 tons produced. So that's also another example. Let's see another example as well. I hope it's clear. So another example is you have 8 tons and your client demands that they want to have maybe 80% PFC certified. So you can inform your client, for example, you can only provide 5 tons of 80% PFC certified, and the rest of the 3 tons can be PFC controlled sources, if assuming in your credit account you have 4 tons. So here we have a small quiz. A company would like to sell PFC controlled sources timber as X% PFC certified. The manager of the same company remembers that they keep a credit account for pulp that they also produce. Can the company use the credits for the pulp account to sell the timber as X% PFC certified? Yes or no? So now I will hand over to Huong to take us through the quiz and the Q&A session.